day, everybody. Here we are, and we're ready for Renaissance class. And Winnie again wants to learn about the Renaissance. And today, Winnie, we're going to learn about the Reformation. That's something very interesting. So she's very... Oh, we have a guest again.
Hello there.
Hello.
Miss Polymath.
Yes.
It is great to see you. Now, I heard we were going to talk about the Reformation.
Yes, we are. The Reformation, which happened during the Renaissance.
All right. What was the Reformation?
Well, the easiest way to explain it is that there was a split in the Catholic Church. Originally, the Catholic Church was very, very powerful, and most people belonged to the most Christians belonged to the Catholic Church. Well, a new type of Christianity arose, and it was called Protestantism, because people protested against some of the practices in the church.
What were those practices and who was involved?
Well, let me tell you, during the Middle Ages, few people other than monks and priests knew how to read and write. And then in Germany, Gutenberg invented the printing press. So now the Bible, which was the book that was written at that, it was basically the Bible that he was printing at that time, was able to be disseminated amongst all these people. And so more and more people began to learn to read and write. And once more and more people began to read, and more people began to read the Bible in particular, then they could read for themselves and understand what was written in the scriptures. They didn't just have to rely on going to church and listening to a mass which was given in Latin and they couldn't understand anyway. So it was just the monks and the priests telling them what to do, but now they could read for themselves what the Bible said.
Are you getting all this, Winnie? Are you getting this? Good. You're learning about the Reformation.
Yes.
All right. What? Oh, Winnie wants to know what caused the Reformation.
Well, by the early 1400s, the Roman Catholic Church had become very, very large and very wealthy and very powerful. And then this led to certain actions which were not the way the early church leaders had intended things to be. So if you were rich and you were influential, you could buy yourself an office in the church. You could pay money and you could become a bishop. Well, that didn't seem right.
Could you buy your way into heaven?
You could even buy your way into heaven. If you'd committed sins, you could pay a certain amount of money and your sins would be forgiven and you'd be able to buy your way into heaven. Well, certain church reformers, we're talking about the Reformation, certain church reformers said, no, this is not right. This is not the way the church should function. And then in 1517, a German monk named Martin Luther took a list of 95 points where he thought the church had gone wrong, and he nailed those points, his theses they called, the 95 theses, to the door of a church. Do you think the Catholic Church was happy?
I would think they might lose a little money.
They lost money, and once they lost money, they were not happy, because now people said, I don't have to buy my way into the church. I can just be a good human being. I can just be a faithful person. I don't have to buy my way into heaven. I can just lead a good Christian life. So they stopped paying money. They stopped paying money. The church lost money, and they certainly weren't happy. So at the Edict of Worms, which was a big conference of church leaders, in 1521, the Catholic Church threw Martin Luther out of the church.
They excommunicated
him? They excommunicated him. They officially banned all their citizens in the Holy Roman Empire from even talking about his ideas, let alone following his ideas.
I heard they used to burn heretics at the stake.
They did.
When they excommunicated.
They did, but they didn't burn him. He was able to run away, and he was hidden for a few years, during which time he translated the Bible from Latin into German, so more and more people could read the Bible. And when people began to agree with Martin Luther, the Catholic Church, they agreed that the Catholic Church had become very, very corrupt. Not the way it was initially intended.
Was Martin Luther the only one that...
No, there were other churchmen in Bohemia, in Florence, in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
in Switzerland, in England. Oh my gosh, there were all these people who said this is not right. In fact, in England, King Henry VIII, have you heard about King Henry VIII?
He had many wives.
He had many wives, and he wanted to divorce his first wife. Well, that was against the practice of the Roman Catholic Church. So he said, "What do you won't let me do this? What do you mean you won't let me do this? I don't need you. I, King Henry VIII, am going to form my own church." And he did. The Anglican Church, the Church of England, which is similar to the Catholic Church, but different. He formed his own church, and he said, if I want to divorce my wife, I'll divorce my wife.
What about this fellow in Switzerland?
Oh, John Calvin. Yes, John Calvin was actually a French lawyer, and he broke with the church in 1530, and he formed his own Protestant church.
But now the Catholic Church wasn't going to take that sitting down.
No, they certainly didn't. They were not happy at all. And so they fought back with something called the Counter-Reformation, and this led to a very, very ugly war called the 30 Years' War. It went from 1618 to 1648, fought primarily in Central Europe, but it was one of the most destructive conflicts in history. So many people died, not only because of the war, but because of violence and famine and plague. Do you know that 20% of the German population died at that time?
That was the most in history for the Germans.
Absolutely. It was a dreadful, dreadful war.
Are there repercussions of that today?
Well, today, even in Northern Europe, with the exception of Ireland, Ireland is still very, very Catholic, but Northern Europe, for the most part, is Protestant, and Southern Europe, for the most part, is Catholic.
So in other words, let's say Northern Germany today is Protestant, but when you go to Bavaria in the south, Munich and this everything.
A lot of Catholic people there, yes.
Same with Poland.
Same with Poland.
Same with Hungary.
Yes.
Same with Austria.
Yes. In Italy, those people are Catholic.
Right.
Yes.
So, wow. Well, we have learned quite a bit, Winnie and I, today. Winnie, did you enjoy learning about the Reformation?
Oh, Winnie.
Okay, well, now we have Ms. Polymath and Dog Polymath. And I am going to be bidding you adieu, which is goodbye, because I have to go out and play tennis with the sports dog from this morning.
Oh, Winnie. Boys and girls, I hope you've learned a lot about the Reformation. I'll be sending you information on this in a little while. For now, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm sending you so much love and many, many hugs, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye for now.